Carburetors. These masses of metal, vacuum lines, valves, jets, and wires are responsible for providing the proper air-fuel mixture to cars, motorcycles, boats, and more. In recent times, of course, we mostly use fuel injection because of reliability. Carburetors generally aren't anywhere near as reliable as fuel injection. There are some, however, that can be just as good. Some may argue, better. One such carburetor, the Weber 3236, has made a name for itself in reliability, fuel economy, and ease of use. For these reasons, I am replacing my Weber 3236 with yet another Weber 3236. This time I will be having an electric choke version instead of the manual choke version, which can be kind of a pain. So, let's get started. And here it is, a genuine Spanish manufactured Weber carburetor. Let's open it up. So, of course, first in the box we have the carburetor itself. It looks really good, really clean, and nice and proper. Of course, it is a Spanish manufactured Weber once again. You can see here the high idle feature. The throttle won't go all the way down, but it will only set like this with the throttle all the way down and the car in the off position. And of course here you can see the electric choke like I had mentioned before. Next in the box we've got the carburetor hat, nice and shiny, unlike my other one which is all rusted out and nasty, so it's good to have this. And we've got the gaskets, of course, gotta have them. And right here we've got the carburetor adapter, the carb sits on top like that. And the last thing in the box is all this nice hardware for me to break. First thing we got to do is remove the old carburetor, and we will start by removing the hat. You can see here the choke plate on the old one never stayed in the right position. Now we pull out the manual choke line, and the fuel line comes off. Now we unbolt the carburetor, and it should come off fairly easy. Now I'm using a double nut on the studs to remove them. Now we clean the gasket surface off with a microfiber towel, Scotch-Brite, and shop air. Again, using a double nut, we reinstall brand new studs onto the intake. Now we go ahead and install the gasket and the carburetor adapter itself. And now we need to install studs onto the carburetor adapter itself. Now once these are in, normally you can just sit the carburetor on top, but I tried that and it didn't fit right, so I had to expand the holes on the bottom of the carburetor itself to get it to line up properly. Once that was done, I was able to just go ahead and set the carburetor on top as normal. Right here you can see I had to swap the fuel inlet line from the right to the left just because of the way my car is set up. And the carburetor sets on top, but I will say even with the holes getting drilled out, it did have to receive some plastic hammer persuasion. Now that's in as smoothly as possible, we can go ahead and bolt down the carburetor. Go ahead and set the carburetor hat on top. Now just put the air filter and the hat on top and then clamp it in and you are done. Once you're done, however, there's still some work to do. You've got to attach the fuel line, the throttle cable, and then you have to run a 12-volt power wire to the electric choke itself so it can open up. Once that's done, you can go ahead and pull the car out and get ready to test it and adjust as necessary. With the engine running, you can go ahead and adjust the air and fuel mixture as well as the idle speed. This particular model, however, was jetted and tuned for a 2TC engine. So as you can see, it's ready to go. Electric choke has opened up and everything is swell. So we're back a couple of weeks later. I've had some time to drive the car and get used to this new carburetor, and really I have not had any issues with it whatsoever. The installation process was a bit much because I had to drill holes in the bottom, or at least expand the holes at the bottom. I wasn't too happy about that fact because the carburetor costed so much, but in the end it was okay, it worked out. I also had to swap the fuel inlet to the other side. It was on this right side here, and I switched it to the left just because of the way my particular car faces. If it was a right-hand drive car, I think it would have been fine. And then I broke a couple of pieces and I had to swap them around. You can see I got a new plug with an O-ring over there. This particular Weber 3236 carburetor was from Toyota shop, and it was pre-tuned and pre-jetted for the Toyota Corolla 2TC engine, and like they advertised, it pretty much fit and worked perfectly other than the small modifications I had to make, and it ran straight out of the box, didn't have to do anything to it, which was perfect. I really enjoy the electric choke and the high RPM start feature where you press down on the gas pedal all the way and it will idle at 2000 RPM until you touch the gas pedal on the ground a little bit. And so yeah, I've really enjoyed it, and I highly recommend this if you have this kind of car, or any four-cylinder really that needs a carburetor, a little two-barrel. And yeah, thank you for watching. Until next time, stay healthy, stay positive. I'll see you around.